My older brother he pitched at Little Rock, and so he's still pitching there. He's a junior at Little Rock University. And then my youngest brother, he is a basketball player, and he's 6'8". My family was blessed with height. And so my older brother's 6'7". He's a baseball pitcher. And then I'm 6'2", I'd give myself. And then the third one in the family, he's 6'1". He's a baseball player. He's a middle infielder, but he's getting into basketball this year. He's a senior in high school. And then my youngest brother, he is 6'8", 6'9", and he's a baseball player. He goes on pitches, but he's majority a basketball player. But no, and I wouldn't. If I had that height, I'd be a basketball player too. But no, that's my three brothers. My dad is 6'3". He's a former Kentucky football player. He played tight end and outside linebacker at Kentucky, and then he went on to play at the CFL, the Canadian Football League. And he got drafted by the New England Patriots and then went on to play with the Canadian Football League. And my mom was a former basketball player. She played at West Virginia Wesleyan, and she was a pretty good basketball player, I'd say. I was freshman year, and I get back from spring break, and I felt like a little bump that prevented me to get full range of motion. And so when I had to pitch, I always had to turn my body to like just see the mound or see the catcher. And so I went to get that checked out, and I got a biopsy done on it, and there's 3 tests on it. The first 2 came back negative, and it was it was a blessing because we didn't know what it was, but we just ruling out options, and cancer was the worst option you could have. And then unfortunately that 3rd test came back and said I had stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was a high risk, so it was in my spleen. And I was diagnosed my freshman year, and I was fully put in remission, I'd say, towards the end of my sophomore year. It involved 21 rounds of chemo and 19 rounds of radiation. That's exactly how I treated it. I treated it like it was a battle between me and cancer, and I'm not going to lose. And growing up, I've always been a competitor, and so I do think that's why God gave me that ability. He gave me that competitiveness to fight this, and it turned me into everything. Just it was better. Like when I went into that to get my chemo, it's like this is a competition. Like I'm not going to lose to cancer. This is me 1, cancer 0. That's how I was going to treat it. Throughout cancer, I was going to get chemo on a Wednesday. I'd travel on a Thursday, and I'm pitching on a Friday. So it was throughout the whole thing. That's what I did. And no, it was my way out. It was when I was on that field, when I was pitching. These hitters that step in the box, they're not going to take it easy on me. It's a competition. And so, me being able to get on that mound, and I'm not a patient. I'm a baseball player I'm a competitive baseball player who's going to get you out if you step in the box. I feel like that was my way out. It was like I can go out on that mound, and I'm a baseball player. I'm a pitcher, and I'd say I'm the best pitcher in the game, even though I'm sick. But that was my way out. I could go and I could be with my team. My team was the big supporters, and they treated me like a baseball player. That's how I wanted to be treated. It was definitely one of the biggest wins I've had in my life. Because I go out on that mound, and I throw up before the games, and then I go out and pitch, and in between innings I may throw up here and there, and then I go out and pitch. So being able to step foot on that mound, and I'm now I'm pitching at 100% now, man. That was one of the best feelings. And then the people at St. Jude is the best place to be at the worst time of your life. And so having that ability, and I have those people now in my life, and then my family who work with me through it, and then my church that worked with me through it, man, being able to get through that, it was amazing. I truly thank God for giving me the abilities that I did. So I lived 30 minutes away from St. Jude, so it was perfect. My 8th grade year, I had a weird bone abnormality, and a piece of my growth plate ripped off and started growing in my UCL ligament. And so in order to get to that bone, they said they needed to cut the UCL ligament. And so they went ahead and did full Tommy John reconstruction. And so I fully get back my freshman year, and I'm throwing for, I'd say, 2 months, and that's when I felt the bump, and that's when I was diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma, high risk. And so I got back my sophomore year. I threw all through it. And so junior year came around, and that's when I felt like just some tightness in my arm. And I continued to throw through it, and then I finally went to go get it checked out because it wasn't getting any better. And that's when I had to get the internal brace, and that's when they said, because you kept on throwing throughout your cancer treatment and your chemo, that's why I had to get the surgery. My bones are weak, my ligaments are weak, and so I had a partial tear in my UCL. So 8th grade year, I taught myself how to throw right-handed. I didn't, like out in the yard, I've kind of always picked up a ball. My mom's not letting us throw with our dominant arm, and I'm not going to lose in baseball, like wiffle ball. And so I'd get in the mirror, and I'm throwing one ball left-handed, one ball right-handed, and I'm trying to get it down to try to replicate both sides. And no, so 8th grade year, I played in my first game right-handed because I wasn't able to I had to get the surgery on my arm, and I had to wait for my growth plates to fuse. So no, you weren't going to take me from the game. So I played outfield and right-handed, and I continued to hit, and I had the opportunity. I wanted to pitch. I did some bullpens. I ran up to 88 from the right side, but last year, junior year, I got to play second base right-handed, and so I like to just mess around with it, and it honestly kind of works out. I can teach myself a pitch right-handed, and then I can try to throw it left-handed in the off season when I'm taking some time off from pitching. I treated it all as this is God's plan. I live by John 13:7, and it's you don't realize what you're doing, what I'm doing now, but later on you're gonna realize. And so having that ability to have that in my mind, it's like, yes, I'm gonna get Tommy John twice. Yes, I'm gonna go through chemo, but the amount of people I'm reaching to help out and saying like, this is possible, you can do this. The amount of people I've reached out from that, it was like, that's how I can teach them. I can mentor them on how to get through it. Like, 'cause this is ultimately bigger than, this is life or death. Like cancer, when you're going through cancer, that's like, it's life or death. So having that one person to say like, hey, this is possible. You can do this. Find your outlet. Find baseball. For me, baseball was my outlet. You find that, you're gonna get through it. Like it's God's plan. Whatever happens for a reason. And so I live by that. That's how I kept my happy attitude. And no, I'm not gonna go out today and let my day affect other people. I'm gonna try to like make other people's days better. And I do think that actually transferred to baseball. Like out on that mound, and I'm just like, I'm happy to be there. Like, because I'm not gonna get out there at 80% and know the people who I'm failing at St. Jude. Like all these people, they're sick, and they'd love to get the ability to go pitch on the mound. And so me having that ability to go pitch on the mound, I know who I'm pitching for. I know who I'm pitching with. And no, I'm just happy to be there. I was real fortunate. I had a great senior year, and it was my first year. I'm at full 100%. And no, I don't have to worry. I do think I taught myself a lot going through everything. And so my senior year, I'm ready to go. Like I'm fully, everything's good. I'm all cleared. And no, my senior year was really, really good. I'd say I know I've had like those injuries, but that changed me to be like, I'm a better person. And I do think those who take a risk on me, I do think I'm going to prove them right. I know that I know who I am. I know what I can do, and I know how I feel. And I know I will be on that mound in a pro league, a Major League Baseball, like some team that takes a chance on me. I'm going to prove them right, and I'm going to show you that I'm the right decision.